Welcome back to another edition of B4evaKool. Tonight is Wednesday night, and it's the Vroom Wednesday, where we get to be a little bit laid back and have some fun. So we're going to be like one of our guests, BamBam, tonight. Chill. I want to welcome to one of these roundtables of sort. We're going to be talking about MotoGP and World Superbike. Everybody knows BamBam. If you don't, when you meet him, you'll always remember him. Moving right down the line, we got Jordan. Who's a regular contributor to the show. Welcome back, Jordan. We're going to have some fun tonight. It's going to be very interesting. Then we have TJ, as always, from day one. We're going to have some fun. Welcome back to the show. I'm going to move real fast. Tristan, welcome tonight. Tonight's going to be crazy because we're going to be talking MotoGP. There's a lot of different characters. Tristan's from Florida Moto Talk. I've been fortunate to interview. Well, I've interviewed all you guys on the show as well. So, and they have some really cool stuff on their channel as well. And last but not least, Bobby Shakes, who he's always selling something, and he's afraid of the people coming to get him. So I don't know what's going to happen since we have columns beneath the pyramid. Bobby Shakes, what are your concern? Is the jet fueled or the rocket fueled for us to get out of here?
Yeah. Hey, listen. Oh yeah, wait a second. I don't want the government. I got to put my blue blockers on. I don't want the government to steal my brain. There we go.
I love it.
Welcome to the show, guys. It's only fitting to have all you guys on tonight because it's the Austin GP. It's the one round we get to enjoy the championship as local as possible without us having to get up or 3 a.m, 5 a.m, 10 at night, depending on where we are and stuff like that. So we'll start with BamBam. What are your thoughts on the Austin GP, what Ducati's doing? From talking to some of the other guys on the show, they think it's a foregone conclusion that Marc Marquez is going to continue to be the sheriff in town.
Yeah, I mean, I said it, last year when he's washed up, he's done. You don't take a guy with that type of talent, riding the worst bike on the circuit on the Honda to do what he did, and then put him on the best bike on the circuit and not think he's going to come back and dominate. I mean, he's probably still, with the condition he's in, I'd say he's probably still got another 3-4 years of dominance. I mean, I just feel like he's leaps and bounds ahead of almost anybody else out there. He's doing things on a bike that guys said couldn't be done. You can't ride the front of the Ducati. You can't do this. You can't. And Mark's like, hold my beer. So, I don't know. I think, I think he's just another one of those guys that's on a different realm. If he's at the top, the next closest guy is, they're not one step down. They're probably 4 or 5 steps down from him,
All right. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to move right along to Jordan, who is not a fan. He's proclaimed on this show and other places of Marc Marquez. You buying what BamBam is selling, Jordan?
None of it. Crap. It's all crap. He's a good rider. I'm gonna say right now. I said it before. I'm gonna say it again. Everybody who doesn't know, I'm never Marc Marquez fan. Haven't been. Probably never will be. If you haven't noticed, hey, I'm gonna be going blue. I mean, yeah, we haven't won anything in the Americas in forever, since Laguna. So, I mean, it's not going to be a pretty sight, but Marc Marquez, like Bam said, he's been doing things on bikes that mainly his saves that have been miraculous for years. Everyone has known about that. Has he been doing things on the bike that no one has been doing? I wouldn't quite say that. Casey Stoner has done a lot to that bike before the Valentino debacle happened, and he did what he had to do on the Ducati. Valentino did a lot for the Yamaha when he was switching over from Honda. There's a lot of riders have done a lot of things with these bikes without any technical advantages or any mechanical advantages. So besides his skill level that Marc Marquez has had, now his brother stepping up. I know we're going to talk about that later on. I'm not going to dive into that. But Ducati, period, has always been leaps and bounds ahead of everybody. We've talked about it before. We're going to continue talking about it. Everybody else needs to catch up. Let's get a new bike.
All right. Listen, man, TJ. I will say this, Jordan. I mean, I think BamBam was talking about current riders, but fair enough. If we want to talk greatest of all times, there's definitely some defense there. TJ, what are your thoughts? Is it a foregone conclusion that it's Marc Marquez, and if he wants to let his brother get on the podium, he will?
I mean, I can't say it's a conclusion. To get 3 in a row is very hard. I mean, what a better way to line it up. This is one of his, I could say one of his favorite tracks. He's really good at Coda. But for the past couple of years, with his struggles, we've seen other racers win, like Alex Rins, Maverick Vinales. So it'll be good to see another rider win. It is definitely the time for Pecco to step up if he wants any chance to compete in his championship. But if Marc gets off to a quick start, good practice like he's done round 1, round 2, I must say if he wins this, it's a wrap. But I think it's a good chance, very good chance.
Nice. Tristan, do you have anything to object to that these guys have said, or fact check a little bit? What are your thoughts on the GP in Austin?
I mean, Bobby Shakes is freaking me out over there. He's like evolving to his angry form or something. He's switched to red.
Ducati red.
Yeah, he's freaking me out. I am a Ducati stan. I love Ducati. I currently own 2, even though one is currently unrideable. I am not a Marquez stan. I have never been a fan. I think back from his Moto 3 and Moto 2 days, he was dangerous. I can't believe that guy hasn't killed anybody. But I do respect what he can do on a bike, and I respect his talent. I think historically, Pecco has struggled at the beginning of every season. That's including when we would start at Qatar, which is a good track for Pecco, which we did not start there this year. I believe the tracks we've done so far this year have historically not been very kind to Pecco. I think he had a goose egg at Argentina until last year. Yep. He won the sprint race, and then I don't think he did too well in the Sunday race anyway in the end. So Pecco has a pattern of struggling at the beginning of the year. He has a pattern of struggling with the new bike. I've been reading that he's maybe going back to the old bike. I don't know if that's confirmed or not. My life's been a little hectic, but I'm not too worried right now as a Pecco fan or as a fan of competitive racing that Marquez is going to run away with this quite yet. I think we've been at tracks that suit him. I think he is good at adapting to new machinery, and I still have hope that even as a non-biased fan, that we still have an exciting championship ahead of us.
I agree with the exciting championship ahead of us, and also that I don't think it's going to run away. Bobby Shakes, you believe that Alex Marquez is being groomed for Pecco's seat. Sounds like some people on social media is kind of leading into your side of the world. Must be the blue glasses crew. What are your thoughts on the weekend coming up, man?
Well, shout out to all my tinfoil hat wearers. And shout out to Jordan. Well, I mean, Alex is destroying everybody because he is practicing on the R6 until he gets the new Ducati bike for practice. So you're right, Jordan. Yamaha still have it. They're still in it. They're very good for practice bikes, very good for going around the neighborhood. Pecco has to show up this week. Come on, guys. Come on.
Is he the bad guy or the good guy?
He has to win this weekend. He has to. There's a lot of rumors that we will definitely talk about with KTM, maybe Valentino Rossi, maybe pulling some strings. Everybody, the guy don't have the number 1 on his bike. He has a bullseye. Everybody's shooting at that bullseye. To me, I believe it's over. Give it up for everybody. Like I said, and I'm still holding strong that no other factory will podium this year. We have 5 great Ducati riders. So it's going to be the same thing. Marquez, Alex, and then the other V446s could fight it out. But that's the order. I mean, come on, guys.
That's the order.
Tristan, your eyes lit up.
Say again.
I say Tristan's his eyes lit up when he heard that.
Podium for anyone
He was
else?
like, no one else? No Yamaha? No.
It is going to rain
That's
on
a bold
Friday.
statement.
Out there.
It is going to rain on Friday. Will that play a big part in who gets into Q2 and, possibly, go against what Shakes is saying as far as Ducati top 5? BamBam.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know that the rain really plays a factor. I just think the rest of the bike should go throw Yamaha, throw it in the trash. It's junk. Honda, throw it in the trash. It's junk. All of them. They basically might as well just put 15 Ducatis out there.
Like Moto E?
Yeah, like the Junior Cup. Here you go. You all get the same bike. And then if we really want to see who's got the talent, I think that's the best way to do it. They should take 15 bikes like they do it, Moto 2, build the motor. Here you go. Each team gets, whatever 4 motors, and here's the chassis. You all get I think that would make it. Then we want to talk about talent and who's the best rider and who's this and who's that. Because I think when 2027 comes and they get rid of all these fancy, adjustable suspension, this, that, and I think it's going to open the playing field. I think then you're really going to see who's talented and who is riding the coattails of a Ducati. It's like saying that the R6 is still capable to run in the Super Sport class at Moto America against the V2 that's almost 1,000 cc's. He was out there toying with people at Moto America. It's the same thing Ducati's doing out here right now. They're just toying with people. It's the rest of them are so far behind. It's unfortunate. That's my thought.
Are you going to sell your triple?
No, I just built the fucking thing to the moon. I just put more money in that fucking thing. Oh, sorry. Here I go. You can't take it.
It's all good.
Yeah, I built a monster motor to go slower. Tristan knows I was just at Jennings, and I'm finally starting to get it sorted, but I added more power so I could go slower.
All right. Well, sometimes, it happens that way. Jordan, you want to dissect anything that BamBam said about, having the Moto E version of MotoGP for at least a couple of years? All Ducatis on the grid.
I got one thing to say. WMC.
Yeah, the R7s.
I mean, that's what ultimately what he's saying. Not just the RC3, the 390s, which they've done before with the RC Cup, not with the newer ones they're doing with Moto America right about now, which is like some very similar to the 390s. But like I said, with the R7s, the WMCs, it's like that's ultimately what he's trying to do. And if the manufacturer is going to do that, then they need to have their own version of it. That's what the MotoGP does. Everybody throws whatever they can possibly to make this bike go faster beyond any freaking imagination that you can possibly do. Whether they're thinking outside the box like Ducati has been thinking outside the box for the past 1198, which was almost 20 years ago. Then
13 years ago.
Okay,
2008.
2008. No, that was 1198, wasn't that?
1098 was 2008.
Okay. So see Ducati rider. See right there. Yeah, that guy.
Tristan can back me up on that if I'm wrong. I think it's 2008 on the 1098.
Yeah. So I mean, the Suzukis, they have, like I said, they have a really had a really good platform. The Yamaha had a really good platform, the Delta Box. They only originated that stuff from the MotoGP world. So everybody has to literally go to the freaking, think outside the box so that you can come up with your own design, your own whatever. I was just thinking about this the other day, part of my long monologue, that a lot of the bikes, no matter what they are, KTM, Suzuki, Yamaha, Honda, put them side by side, take all the plastics and stuff off, take the graphics and stuff off, they look alike. They look almost exactly alike. Fairings, wings, and everything. So it's like, who's following who? Who's copying who? Because they're all following each other, but they're really not pushing the limit anymore because now they got all these stupid rules and stuff going on, and tire pressure rules, aerodynamic rules, blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna jump off my soapbox. But Bam, I'm not disagreeing with you, but I am disagreeing with you. If they are to really push the limit, push the envelope, and really make the bikes better than Ducati, you got to let go of these rules, man. I mean, let them freaking go wild, and then they see who's the best rider, who's got the best equipment, who's going to win a championship.
TJ, what you got to say? There's a lot there, man. I mean, yeah, I know you're Yamaha and Suzuki, and you can just moonwalk that way and not touch. What's going on?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe Ducati scared Suzuki out the game, you know? So, like, I mean, I remember last year when Ducati had 8 bikes on the grid. I'm just like, that felt like too many. And now this year is 6. But as you can see, there's no other manufacturer that's really keeping up to anything. Like, we'll see. Like you said, it's going to rain. That's going to be a good test to see, like, exactly which manufacturers can possibly improve in the rain from what we've seen. We know Ducati's definitely developed all around. So, you know, the WCR is definitely a good example of seeing all the same manufacturers, but I don't know if it will still be entertaining, as entertaining, just seeing the same bike when trying to figure out the riders. But you know, it could be something. It could be something for sure. I mean, we're still gonna have all the manufacturers, so that's gonna be tough. I don't know how they'll make that all as one, but that is something.
You know, in other sports, they kind of use the same material for a lot of things, and that seems to work out. Tristan, what are your thoughts, man? I mean, is it too much negativity for what Ducati's getting for their dominance in MotoGP in the last 5 years, where Honda and Yamaha have gotten away with these things, and we just had to bow our heads and show respect? What are your thoughts, man?
I think people do forget too quickly how long the dominance of other factories went on. I think we also forget very quickly how long it took Ducati to get here. I mean, we're going back all the way to Capirossi, Bayliss, Hodgson, Shaky Byrne, all these incredible riders with these incredible careers who did not succeed on the Ducati. Recently the Honda kind of became a career killer, killed Paul Espargaro's career, I know he went on to KTM and then he got injured and stuff like that, but really the Honda was the beginning of his downfall, killed Lorenzo, killed like all these guys, damn near took Mark Marquez out, damn near took Alex Marquez out professionally. But the Ducati was that bike for a long, long time. Guys came and rode the Ducati and then disappeared off the face of the earth. So I think in this current age of social media and all this crap, like it's so easy to forget how it used to be, but Honda just dominated everything for so long. And I think because it was a constant, or not constant, but relatively smooth cycle of riders, Doohan, Rossi, Stoner, then Marquez, that we kind of just were okay with it, whereas the Ducati era has been Pecco. I don't think we're at that point where it's boring yet. I do think having 8 bikes on the grid was too much. As someone who is a lifelong Ducati fan, there has been a Ducati in the garage as long as I can remember, starting from my dad. I think that was too much. I think that was crazy. I don't think that allowed for development for the other manufacturers. but I also at the same time don't think it's fair to be like, oh, this is crazy. We need to do a hard reset and level the playing ground, because it's Yamaha had their turn, Honda had their like multi-decade long turn. It's just kind of the nature of the sport. A manufacturer gets complacent, they stop spending the money, and they start resting on their laurels, and then someone else shows up and they've got money in the bank and they want to win on Sunday, sell on Monday, and they put the money in, and then it just cycles through.
Yeah. And I'll add to that. I'll add to what you're saying as far as Honda's never been sold. Yamaha's never been sold as manufacturers, as brands, right? You know, Ducati's had a few owners over the years where Honda's always been owned by Honda from the beginning of the inception, right? Which is huge. Bobby Shakes, you want to add anything to that? I know you got Yamaha t-shirts. I see you got a little blue cup or something there. So we're making progress.
Oh man!
It's a wrap.
What do you want me to say after Tristan? There's nothing I can say. There's nothing I can say. But I will piggyback on that. Like Tristan said, do we have to spend so much money into research and development when these bikes are selling Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and our books are clean, our branding is perfect, and we're just selling bikes? At what point do we have to invest into our hobbies to move bikes? We're moving bikes. We're moving them. We don't. If Ducati wants to win and blow all their money, can I add a little conspiracy theory back on to Tristan? Do you think that the factories are just not developing just to see Ducati blow through their financials? That's also a part of winning, right? It's the mental game. It's let these guys go out and spend. Let them do this. We'll let them have it. 2027 is a fresh slate. Now we're going to perform. Could that be it?
See, that's that colonialism right there, Bobby Shakes. I mean, you got gold in the basement, Bobby Shakes. Come on, that's how you think, right? You just gonna wait it out. Our money, we'll take you to court and sue you because you're gonna run out of money. So we're never gonna get to court.
I mean, could it be that? I don't know. It's like he said. I love the rain. I love seeing Ducati doing what it's doing. But you're right. Every weekend, Dovizioso and Rossi going back and forth, and Dovizioso would fly down that straightaway, go into the turns, and straight into the tires, right? And now finally Ducati's figured it all out, so they're going to get their run. But I agree. I agree with you guys.
Okay.
That's why I put the tape on my mouth. I'm nothing to say.
All right. So we still didn't talk about the rain. Apparently, it's not going to make a big deal. Is there another manufacturer that can step it up a little bit? I mean, Rins has won there. Vinales has won, but Bezecchi's really quick on the Aprilia, and the Aprilia's won there. These are the guys hungry enough to sit here and say we can get at Marc Marquez and Alex Marquez, where maybe a Bender and some of these other guys may lean on the bike issues. Bam Bam.
Yeah, I don't. So to go back a little bit, I think it was Tristan that said Marquez was dangerous coming up. Well, part of racing, and it's the way I came into racing. So I kind of sometimes, dude, more balls than brains works. And I'll tell you right now, when I started racing, if you left an inch, I was going to put the bike there. It didn't. And, and I think that's every sport seems to have a GOAT for the time. It was the Michael Jordans, the LeBrons, the Kobe's. Same thing. You got Rossi, you got Marquez, you got this guy. I think if somebody wants something bad enough, that they put in the extra effort. And it's the same thing watching these guys in the rain. I feel like they all like pussyfoot, or like you're being paid millions of dollars. Like I'd rather have a guy go out there and
Send it.
wad the thing up and send it to the fucking moon so we know what that bike can do than go out there and pussyfoot it. I mean, I don't know. That's my thought process. We all know more balls than brains for me. So, I mean, look at me in the rain. I was almost faster in the rain than I was in the dry, which was pathetic. But it's, to me, my thought process, well, the ground's wet. It's not going to hurt when I hit the ground. So, that's how I look. So, I don't know. I look at these guys and I'm like, do you really want it bad enough to go out and push in the rain and see how capable, your machine is? Because I think every bike on the grid, I mean, listen, the Ducati, we can, it's like he's saying, it's performing right now. But I think some of these other guys they're a little hesitant. And if they would just push that little bit more just to see, most guys want to ride at 99%. They never want to push that 101. They want to be in their safe zone. And I don't think you ever find the true limit if you're not trying to push it. And if you're afraid of bringing the bike in, I mean, listen, somebody's putting me on $1 million team, paying me all that kind of money. And I'm not saying they're going to allow you to go out and wad a bike up, but I'll tell you what, you give me that opportunity, I'm probably going to bring one back in, dude, that you couldn't glue back together with all the glue in the world. Like, I'm going to go out there and send it. I mean, every bike I've ever bought, dude, it's been from the showroom floor, 5 miles to the highway from the dealership, to 140 mile an hour wheelie, to getting that thing to shut off at 180. And it was like, that was my break-in process, So I don't know, man. I just think send it. And it might not be the right answer, but like I said, I fucking send it. If it comes back in a scrap, then it is what it is.
Jordan, man, are we an era where riders are getting too much money, taking too much care of their bodies, and not necessarily putting the risk that they would, as BamBam is saying, riders in the past would? We see the Lorenzos and even the ones before that, they would go out and ride and they barely stitched up kind of thing. Are they just too comfortable? Too many, physio, too many massages, too many private jets?
I push and I push and I push the bike some more. I push the front and I push to push the rear.
If y'all know who I'm talking about. I'm sorry. I had to put that in there. Like Bam said, they getting paid millions of dollars. Any one of us, all 6 of us, give us a chance to, give us a chance to be on any bike. I don't care if it's an Aprilia, Honda, Yamaha, whatever. Yeah, I'm probably going to do something stupid and wad one up. Can't do that on that bike anymore. Okay, cool beans. Learned that lesson. But yeah, I mean, I think those guys should be pushing the limit, should be really showing why they have that seat, why they're getting paid $1.8, $2 million. I'm not going to mention some other names, $14 million a year. I mean, come on now. And if you're not really showing why you have that seat, then, let somebody else, let one of the Junior Cup guys go over there and show you up. Because, like I said, they got some balls. They got a little bit more, cojones than most of us. But, I mean, they got some knowledge to them to where it's kind of like, okay, I do want to bring the bike back because I got more practice. I've got more training to do. I got more learning to do. I've got more settings to play around with to maybe not do a wheelie 180 miles an hour and throw the bike to the moon, but at least be able to make standings for the championship, for the manufacturer's championship, for the riders' championship, for sponsors, et cetera, et cetera. It's a little bit of a game. That's why Casey Stoner got pissed off. It's like, I want to ride the bike more and do less press conference. Mm-hmm. Well, sorry, that's what people want to hear. People like myself and everybody else, it's like, yeah, they want to hear what's going on behind the scenes, not just see you ride the bike, but explain, hey, why are you doing such? Why are you not pushing, or what's going on in turn 3 that's not going on in turn 5? Because, in turn 5, you can keel it over a little bit more. Turn 3 is, flat out. Why are you not going flat out? But in turn 5, you're going 180 miles an hour. So, little things like that. So, if you're getting paid a job, no matter what it is, you should do the best job you can do. If you're not, let somebody else go.
Well, Jordan, I have to say, and I'll move right along to TJ. As a shareholder of Liberty Media Group, I want my riders to stay safe, to bring more income long term. I do not go full send. This is not my father's company. I'm just here to make the money.
I'm right there with you, brother. I'm right there with you. I'd rather do some fun stuff, maybe do a burnout or a wheelie, something like that, just to keep them, keep everybody entertained,
right?
But then still be able to show a good standing at the end of the race or at the end of the weekend, and be like, hey, here's the bike that won us the championship at the end of the year, not this pile of stuff over here that could have won us.
Right. So I have to ask TJ: Is there too much corporate? Too much worrying about the entertainment part of racing, where these riders, because if we listen to what the Jordan and BamBam is saying, is that these riders are not 100% committed. Is it too much corporate influence in the sport?
That's tricky. Yeah, I think it's you can see the changeover where it's becoming a little corporate, but you need the people for to show up to entertain. So I don't think the riders are being a little light on their efforts and stuff like that. I think they're still pushing hard. A lot of them are still riding hurt. But I think they are riding a little softer than you. I don't know. It's just this. I guess it's just a newer generation. I even feel like it. Like when I'm working now, like the younger crowd is just, they have a different work ethic compared to like the generation that I was raised upon. Where we try to give it our all. What like Bam said, the reference 99%, and just leave that 1% out of the 100. Just to not just go over the edge. That's what we're used to. And like these guys been racing all their life. They're used to just being on a team. I don't know, if I ever had a choice where I say, hey, you're going to a race weekend and you get 2 bikes to choose, 2 bikes to ride, like, and if you crash, like you see these guys just get up and run back to their second bike. Like that mentality where you can just do that. Like if I crash my bike, I'm just like, oh my God, like, all right, what's broken? What do I have to fix? And you're mentally out of the game. Like their mindset is totally different. So, but yeah, it's tricky. Like the market, you got to advertise. You got to draw people to watch. So you need guys like Jack Miller for entertainment purposes, and like a couple other riders that just do funny stuff and help others to get the views and stuff.
Okay. All right, Tristan, anything you want to add? I can add more, but I think these guys have said a lot.
I'm all fresh out of blue tape, but Pedro Acosta has said it himself. There's no balls anymore. Look, we don't get any sports if the advertising dollars aren't there. None of this happens if the money isn't there. So if these guys want to go out and ride these crazy prototype motorcycles, then they got to sit in a press conference and they got to do ads with Michelin hats on and stuff like that. That's part of it. Nothing happens in this world without money behind it. Do I think we're fortunate to be fans of a sport where they get on the bike and they just go for 45 minutes and we don't have this every 30 seconds stopping for 2 minutes for a freaking commercial break? Hell yeah. Because I can't watch any normal sport anymore because it's just 98% ads. I think there is maybe an issue with name recognition in this sport. I think there seems to be times when riders, I feel like, stay longer than they really should, blocking seats out for newer, hungrier riders. And I think that's because the manufacturers and the sponsors are paying more attention to the name recognition of said rider than they or the sellability of said rider than they are
not the size of their balls.
yeah, to the talent or hunger or drive of that rider. I mean, I think we can all look at guys in Moto 2 or even Moto 3 who, if they were given a chance, we think could do something impressive. Meanwhile, we've got I'm just gonna hot take this, guys like Nakagami, who I feel like spent way too long in a MotoGP seat. So sometimes I do think the branding and the money side of it does get too much power over the situation, and it stifles the talent, it stifles the competition. But at the same time, we do have to acknowledge that none of this happens without the money. So it's kind of this necessary evil of not only this sport, but any sport that we want to enjoy from the sidelines or that we want to participate in. I mean, Weira can't run their show if they're not making some money. CCS can't do that if they're not making some money. Like, we don't have guys like Stick Boy out there hucking tires if they're not making some money. Money drives all of it. So it's that necessary evil. But yeah, I think sometimes the name recognition and stuff like that does stifle the sport a little bit.
Bobby Shakes, can you save us? Can you make a phone call?
Here we go. When you're watching Marc Marquez ride that damn Ducati, right? He's you're supposed to use what, 2 fingers? Well, those bikes are so expensive you could probably use 1 finger. This guy's grabbing a handful of brake. He's slamming that nose. He's sliding the bike. He is full sending it. And I think the other guys are not. And I think in the rain, like BamBam said, you got to send it because Marquez is going to send it. Like Jordan was saying last week, how many catches has he done in the last 2 weeks? He's catching that thing. There's a lot of spilled coffee. And he's, you know what? Wow, that was a great catch there. He's full sending it. And he's showing these young kids that it's going to be in the rain. You got to come after him. This is the week. This is the week that you go and get Marquez. This is the week. This week. You got to 2 hands on that brake. I don't want to see any hand. I want to see 2 hands on the front brake in every turn. And I want to see that the foot on that back brake. And I just want you sliding. I don't want anybody. I want you sliding. You got to do it this week, guys. Come on. This is it. We want you. If he wins 3 in a row, it's over. You got to send it. And he's sending it. And he's the OG. And he's giving you that raw racing talent. It's not beautiful because he should have spilled it. He should have spilled it twice, but he caught it. But in the rain, you got to go after him. You got to take him out.
Okay. I agree that you have to take him out and in the sense of go after it. I want to talk about something that Tristan brought up about Pecco Bagnaia. In all his first few rounds of starting the MotoGP season, he's usually horrible. But this is the first round that he has the most amount of points in the first 2 races. Usually he's had less points. So I think he may be coming into his own. And also I want to go back to Bezzecchi and Zarco. I mean, I think these are guys that have the potentials to come in there and do something. And I think Zarco is full send. And I think that Bezzecchi, the VR46 Academy guys, Morbidelli as well is full send. So I do feel that there are other riders in MotoGP beside Marquez that's full send. But I think some of these riders maybe using their bike as an excuse, or it seems that way from the outside looking in. What do you guys thoughts about Bezzecchi, Morbidelli, Zarco, doing something at Coda?
I don't.
Marquez got here.
It's like a one-man show. Like I don't know. Like he said, I want to see them guys out there with both fucking hands on the front brake. I don't care if you got to do a headstand to get that fucking front end to dive into the ground. Like, do something. Fucking drive straight into him into turn one and T-bone him. Take him out. Like, listen, I'm a Marquez fan, but you do it. You do what you got to do. I don't know. He's out there, like he said, saving it every other turn and, putting on a show, whether you like him or you don't like him. There's just, I don't feel like it's back to the old Marquez. It's almost back to the point of, oh, it's another weekend. We're going to turn on, how quick people forget. Was it 3 or 4 years ago that he crashed? And I believe it was Coda. He crashed. He was in last place, came all the way back around to second, was about to catch the leader when he lost the front again. Like, who else in MotoGP is going to do that? Like,
Currently?
And then, nobody. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I think you got to go. Don't get me wrong. And Bagnaia, I think, first of all, I think the worst thing he ever did was team up with Rossi, because he's in his head. Oh, you got to beat Marquez. You got to beat Marquez. They need to let him ride his own ride. The guy's a world champion. Stop comparing him to Marc Marquez. Stop like that shit. Oh, you got to do that. You got to go out and do exactly what you've been doing. Keep your head on right, ride your ride, and do what you got to do. Like, that's my opinion. I think everybody trying to pit him against Marquez and, oh, is he a teammate? Are you going to work with him, or are you going to give him data, or are you going to work against him? And, and then Rossi's lingering feud with him, and he's trying to get Bagnaia to take it out. Like, I think it's stupid. I think Bagnaia has proved how good he is, and he needs to ride his ride. And like you said, the rest of these guys need to stop making it. Like, if the bike's that bad, well, then what are you doing to help them fix it? Because isn't that what you're supposed to be as a world level rider? Is a guy that can come in and say, this is what's wrong with the bike. We asked the kids at our junior cup level, and as they're traveling through the ranks, to understand how to set a bike up and what's wrong and what can make it better. Listen, power is not the answer for everything, because if it was, you wouldn't have kids at Loudon doing 14s and 15s on a 400. And we got guys like me on a 600 that can't break 16.9, 17.0. So, power is not the answer for everything. So I think as riders, if you're saying it's the bike, well, then what are you doing behind the scenes to say, hey, this is what really needs to change with this bike? I think, like Tristan said, it's become so corporate, and a lot of these people that are putting their money into the sport, they wouldn't even know how to start a motorcycle if you asked them. But they're the ones putting the money up, so we gotta, they put that big sticker on my bike. Yeah, but you don't have a fucking clue. Like, I wouldn't want your money. If you don't know how to start the motorcycle, I don't even want your money. If you're not a motorcycle rider, like, forget it. I don't want you sponsoring me. Like, I want you to be a part of the industry, not just, we want our name on TV on the best rider's bike, and we want him to do 2 backflips and a front handspring when he wins the race, so everybody can see our name. So that's my thoughts.
BamBam, the PR nightmare. But that's what true riders are, though. They, true people of whatever sport it is that, like, get out my way with all the nonsense. It's not nonsense. Just give me what I need to perform, and we'll perform. And it's interesting that, like, people with the money seems like they can't, like, get out the way of that, right? I mean, I think
they can't grasp it.
To think, the first thing that comes to mind is Luka going from Mavericks to the Lakers, and there was a ownership change, majority change, right? It's kind of like, I'm just gonna get rid of this guy because I can, just to be a nuisance. But it's a bad decision for the team. What are your thoughts, Jordan?
About Luka joining the Lakers, or
ownership making bad decision because they can.
I mean, riders sometimes make bad decisions, but sometimes it's the only decision they possibly can make. Maverick Vinales leaving from Suzuki, going over to Yamaha, he had no other place to go. That was it. Not to say that Mark Marquez didn't have options, because Marquez did have options when he was leaving Honda. Did he want to go to Ducati? Probably not. But notice that he kind of waited for a little bit and kind of see who's going to give him the best offer. Because I believe KTM was trying to nip at his coattails also and try to find out, hey, how much money, keyword money, that we all talking about, can we throw at this guy, because we know he is a good rider, potentially another world championship rider. Let's get him behind our machine so that we can sell on Monday, win on Sunday, sell on Monday. So, I mean, it's really, how much can you do? So, I mean, like I said, I can go back and forth with all the wet conditions. I think it's going to be up in the air. I was just looking at something really, really quick about some stats. I can talk about a whole bunch of other stuff, how I feel, or my feelings and stuff about who's going to do what, whatever. But quick little stats. Mark Marquez won 7 times. Alex Rins twice. Andre Bestinani, I can never say that word. Bestinini, the beast. He even won 1 time. You look at all the other stats, lap record, pole time, best lap record, and top speed. I want everybody to guess who that one person is. And no, it's not Mark Marquez.
Jack Miller, KTM?
Nope.
Or Ducati?
Rins?
Nope, not Rins.
Pedro?
Maverick. So, I mean, if the guy isn't, kicking up a freaking fit, then yeah, he has a potential, keyword potential, of getting a win out there. The only time he really got a win was when Mark Marquez was gone. So, I mean, if he does it, then yeah, fine, great and dandy. But Franco and what was the other one? You said
Bezzecchi?
Franco and Bezzecchi. I mean, they're literally right there at the top of the charts for right now on the points. They got to keep consistency. And that's the key thing about both those guys. Like, they're not consistent. They need to learn how to find a good tune for, not to say, I'm dumbing the word down for all the non-MotoGP and non-mechanical people. They got to find a good tune, a good baseline, to where they can at least jump off there, get a good start, qualify well, because none of them qualify very well, and be able to finish the race. Because obviously, if you're not going to win the race, fine, grand day, at least finish the race. So, I mean, if they're able to do that, then I think it's going to be a really good weekend and a really good race coming Sunday. And then the sprint, like I said, is going to be another beast. But like I said, I'm not going to jump into that wagon unless you bring it up.
Okay, no doubt. All right, okay. TJ, man. I mean, this is I'm trying to get somebody else on the podium besides Mark Marquez. Not that I have that power, but we're just talking about it. What are your thoughts about some of these other riders coming out of Coda?
I mean, it's gonna be tough. I mean, Martin is still hurt, but I wish he was there to give more competition, because, like you said, we need more guys out there that just send it, Hopefully Maverick can come in with, a clean slate, knowing what he's done. Because, when you like get on a podium, or when you win, like, what it takes, like, you get that vibe, that energy where you can, kind of compete now or keep up with the top guys. So I'm hoping, Maverick can help pull the KTM for a podium or a victory. Bezzecchi, for some reason, I've always think that he has just bad luck. He can never get like I don't know. He can't, like, I just want to see his old self back. Like, he's been on a big struggle lately, especially the last race where I felt like he was ready. But into turn 1, he had that big incident. And, I don't know. I don't know if we'll see someone other than Mark. I don't know, because Mark is like he hasn't, like, the last time he actually raced here was, I think, did he race last year on the Ducati at Coda? I'm not sure. I think he was injured.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think he
So
did.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember the last time he started, when he was at Coda, he's in the back of the pack, and had to charge back like he always does, and he always fights back to get to the top of the pack. So I really think Mark might pull it off. There's one thing, I know we didn't mention this guy, but Pedro Acosta. I know it's only 2 races, but from what we saw last year, he was definitely going full send. This year, I don't know if it's because of KTM's issues, where he's trying to possibly think about his career, but I think he's another guy that can possibly, compete to possibly help KTM win a victory.
Okay. I do think that Pedro's still doing full send this year, and I think that's one that's been the issues, crashing out some of these races. Tristan, anyone outside of the guys that we're talking about, Bezzecchi, Morbidelli, Zarco, let's throw Pedro in that, and I mean Vinales, because Vinales won it last year. So any thoughts on any of those guys?
I mean, I'm going to throw out another hot take. Vinales is another one of those riders who's overstayed his welcome in MotoGP. What's he done? He's done nothing. He's sulky.
One on 3 different manufacturers.
Okay. He's also blamed all 3 of those manufacturers for his failures, so whatever. Look, we know last year's Aprilia did pretty good out there, and Ayagura has been a bit of a dark horse. I think we get some of these top guys pushing at each other and falling off. Next thing is you've got Ayagura on a podium. I think KTM has kind of tried to do too much in the off season, and they've thrown everyone into kind of a confused bluster this year. Pedro Acosta has been pretty open about how he doesn't know what the heck to do with that bike right now. I think they kind of did what Aprilia did in between 23 and 24, where they were on a roll and kind of tried to do too much in one off season and then kind of lost that track. But like I say, we already know last year's Aprilia was successful at Coda. Ayagura, 5th the first Sunday of the year. Yeah, the result got thrown out, but that wasn't his fault. He was 8th last weekend. I think he's got a chance at doing something good this coming weekend. Especially because Coda is one of those tracks where people you don't expect fall off. People make mistakes. What is it? Turn 10 and turn 11, like going onto that back straight and coming off the back straight, like people blow both of those all the time. So you've got some unpredictable corners at this track, and I don't know. I think, look, it's hard to fight against the Marquez brothers and Pecco and stuff like that, but I think the Yamaha's got more straight line speed this year than they had, which could be the difference, because they're not losing it all down the back straight. So Quadraro's got a shot, and I think Agura could be a dark horse as well.
Okay. Bobby Shakes, Trackhouse and American Racing Team. Is this their weekend to shine at Coda? And I'll put that to the rest of the guys as well after Shakes answer that. Is it their it's a home Grand Prix for both of these guys,
right.
Both of these teams and so forth. So, unfortunately, but both teams, there's only one American rider, Joe Roberts in Moto 2. We got Ramirez in Moto 2, and we got Ayagura and Raul on Trackhouse. Should there be pressure for these guys, for the riders to show up for the team, for the home team GP?
Yes, I think as you're noticing, I'm just reading a lot of stuff, how like everybody is like getting new bikes coming in. They're doing like American flag field. I just feel that this is an American weekend. And I think America's going to shine this week. I just feel like even Morbidelli, I guess he's getting in a new Ducati that's coming in, that's going to be wrapped with an American flag. I think America's going to shine this week. But I have to be consistent, right? I got to say duck all the way. But I think this is going to be a very good weekend for the home teams and for America to shine. I mean,
Bam, your thoughts on that?
It's in the air, Bam Bam.
You want the truth?
Always. I can handle the truth.
American riders suck compared to these guys overseas. Fucking take up knitting. I mean, listen, I'd love to see America shine. I'd love to see them shit, but we ain't good. We ain't got shit. We can't hold a candle to them little guys over. They're like horse jockeys, you know. Whatever they're putting in their food, it keeps them, 5 foot nothing, 110 pounds soaking wet, and for whatever reason, they know how to ride motorcycles better than we do. It's unfortunate. I hate to admit it, but I don't know. The truth of the matter is, Joe Roberts is last year. He had flashes, and I'd love to see it happen, but if I'm being a realist, I don't think so. You can put all the American flags you want, but that ain't gonna. Unless you put a bottle of nitrous or you let them cut a few turns and take a few turns out of the track for them so they can get a head start. Forget it. I don't even see top 10. So that's.
Come on, man. I mean, go ahead, Jay.
Bam just took my American cheese and flag. I was trying to be patriotic with all what's going on. I just the rock is red.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to rain on your parade. I really didn't.
It just threw me out. Out the window.
Unfortunately, I have no other way but to say what I feel, and sometimes that filter in there doesn't. Well, there is no filter. Who am I shitting? When it comes to my brain, it goes to my tongue, and that's it. It's just. Okay. Do I look fat in this dress? Yes, you do. I can see all the rolls. Oops, I wasn't supposed to say that. So it is what it is.
My cheeks. Oh my cheeks. Okay, I gotta jump in. I gotta agree with Bam. I'm not gonna throw Bobby under the bus and throw him like screw all the American flag stuff, because literally, if you look at all the races that MotoGP, Moto2, Moto3, everywhere they go all over the gosh darn world. I remember we used to even go to freaking South Africa. The U.S. market was always the one that at least one team did some type of theme. I remember Yamaha when they won the 50th, when they raced the 50th year, and what's his name?
Butterball.
Lorenzo
had the one-off thing,
Indianapolis
50th anniversary, yada yada yada. And he marked the 50th landing of the gosh darn of the moon. And I didn't really think about it. It's kind of, that's kind of cool. I didn't think about it until they actually kind of highlighted that. So, oh, yeah, this is the 50th year. I'm like, oh, cool. Okay. But you go anywhere else in the world, they don't highlight the country. When they come to the U.S., it's stars and stripes, something or another. They highlight it. So, Bobby, you're on point with that. And with Bam, I got to agree with them 1,000%. We cannot hold a candle to CES, the Italian series, the Spanish series, none of that stuff. We can win all the championships in the world here in the States. We start taking that stuff over to World Superbike and everybody else. God bless you, Gary Gerloff. You're doing your thing, but you're still running in 8th. You're still running in 10th. You're still running in 15th. Throw them on whatever bike, Yamaha, Suzuki, BMW, still on a bottom lot of any championship. There's no way, because even when what's his name, who's on a BMW now,
Toprak.
well, Top Rock's on it. I'm talking about here in Moto America.
Bobier.
Florial.
Cameron Bobier. He raced with Mark Marquez when they were kids in Junior Cup. Mark Marquez, Cameron Bobier. He's won 4 championships. He still can't hold anything compared to what Mark Marquez has now. Our market is just not comparable. And they're still trying to make it build up Moto America to, come close to CES and Italian Federation, FI, some IFM, whatever it is. Italian Federation Motorcycles. Yeah, IFM. So they're trying to balance it out. But it's like, dude, we can't hold anything to them besides waving our little flags, shooting our little skyrockets and little bottle rockets in the sky and say, God bless America, because we can't win a championship. God bless the Nikki Hayden family. Nikki Hayden Foundation just did a ride. Sorry, I got to shout that out. So if you don't subscribe or at least submit some money to the Nikki Hayden Foundation, shame on you. You can at least donate $1. Just donate $1. So that's my spiel.
All right. Listen, man, definitely donate if you can. Nikki Hayden. TJ, there's a lot there.
I know there's a lot there, but I'm gonna try to touch it up on everything. But like Jordan was saying about the American riders like Joe Roberts and Garrett Gerloff. I'm so happy that they're out there riding, representing. Like, I really wanted Bobier to stay. I was so disappointed when he left. But like you said, like, we don't really compare. We don't have enough to really compete and show our talent, But I must say, the MotoGP weekend is going to be at Coda. It's definitely the weekend for Aprilia, so they're going to have to do something. They just got to make sure they get no computer errors, because that can't happen, especially at their home track. But, I don't think they have a chance. Hopefully, top 10. I can disagree with Bam on that. I think maybe Iagora can steal a 10th or maybe a 9th. Or someone from Aprilia, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're gonna do too much with the American flags anyway. It's just gonna be a little celebration. It's more entertainment than anything.
Grid fillers.
Tristan, man. I mean, these guys don't give much hope for the American teams.
I mean, look, we got Joe Roberts right now, who's had some flashes of brilliance, and I wish him all the best, but obviously we've been a little disappointed this year so far. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Seems to have taken a step backwards, but hopefully that's just, early season jitters or something. But look at who we got. What's his name? Crispin Daniel in Red Bull Rookies Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, they packed up and moved everything to Spain when that kid was 9 years old, because they freely admit if they stayed in the US, there's no shot, absolutely no shot of being competitive. And I think even they've said 9 years old was too late, or may prove to have been too late. It's a freaking conveyor belt of superhuman, like BamBam said, 110-pound riders who somehow have the strength to hold on to a freaking bike like that for 45 minutes straight. The talent, just everything, we cannot match it. That's not to say that our top riders and stuff like that are not freaking insane. Like, I can't even comprehend the stuff they do, standing on the side of Jennings watching Kayla and stuff like that. It's just mind-blowing. But it is just a different level, and we don't have it anymore. We had it in the 80s, even maybe early 90s, and it's just not there anymore. And I think it's the way they're doing things over there is just so hyper focused that until we come up with some sort of better conveyor belt system over on this side of the pond, we're not going to have anything to compete with. I think moving to the Kramer 390 series is maybe a better shot. We're getting back to more prototype style bikes instead of production style bikes. But yeah, for at this very moment in time, we don't really have anything to throw at them.
Wow. Okay. I kind of agree. I will say this. I think this is one of the reasons why Valentino Rossi started the VR46 Academy. With Simoncelli was kind of like the prototype because the Spanish riders were just dominating MotoGP for a while. And we've seen what he's been able to do with his VR46 Academy riders because they're pretty much the only ones that can kind of get in MotoGP and kind of ride at the same level. We don't know who Valentino Rossi is for the U.S. Yet. But there are a lot of folks like Eric Woods and a lot of you're talking about the Kramer series and a lot of riders and people in Motor America and who have raced at the top level that recognize that they have to do something about it. But it may be too late in the sense, not too late, but I think, America may be in the same boat as Yamaha and Honda. We took too long to recognize what we needed to do to kind of catch up because we do see the Kaylas and we do see these riders coming up. So it may be, riders, 5 years from now or 6 years from now that may start to be able to deal with the level of what we see in World Superbike and MotoGP. And so that's my thoughts on that. I do know that there are people in America that are working on it, but I think we're probably a good 5 to 7 years away from seeing some riders that can really be the Marc Marquez of MotoGP. We're gonna get out of here. I just want to have you guys have a final word. What are your thoughts on this weekend? What's your thoughts on this weekend? What do you think is gonna happen? And we're gonna get out of here.
Ooh, me, coach, me.
You go, all right.
I think the weekend's gonna be really good. Marc Marquez. I'm hoping. Yeah. You. Yeah. Oh yeah. Hoping he does not do a Marc Marquez because we all know he's going to do a Marc Marquez. So I'm just going to say he doesn't do a Marc Marquez. I hope that Maverick can pull something out, and I'm going to even reach out and say Morbidelli. Yes, I'm going to say Morbidelli. I wanted to highlight something real quick that between all of the U.S.-based MotoGP teams, there's only one team that actually has a single point in the championship, Fernandez. He's the only one that has a single point. Okay. If he can make something happen this weekend and really show the U.S., I wouldn't say dominance because obviously he's Spanish, but he's on a U.S. team, can that do that? That would be a win for us. I'll talk later on.
Agura has points too, right?
Agura, he's got 17.
Agura.
Because he had what? Fourth
Agura. I missed Agura.
Yeah.
I missed Agura. But I mean, not to say he's not really on a roll.
He got hacked, man. He got hacked.
Thank you.
Oh Jesus, we're still saying that. I didn't post that on Twitter. Somebody else did.
It is what it is. Russia invaded. They invaded their computer system and they hacked the system. And now he's further behind. Yeah. So I'm thinking if Fernando can actually do something, that'll be a big win. Agura, I would be racing mad if I was Agura. I'm just saying. I would be like, I'm gonna show you guys why freaking Russia hacked me, and I'm gonna come back for my championship and for my win that I could have had. So
there you go, Bam.
I think Jordan just answered his own question without even realizing it. You said Mark's gonna come and Mark's gonna do Mark and Mark's gonna do what Mark does. That's what these other riders need to do. They need to come and ride for themselves and not worry about Marquez or Bagnaia. ride your ride. It's the same thing we say in golf. Swing your swing, ride your ride. They've all got different riding styles. They've all got different bikes. But man, if you go out there every weekend, and as far as I'm concerned, if you leave 110% on the track and you get off the track and you didn't win, then I feel like you've won, right?
Yeah.
But if you go out and you're like, well, I left 2% in the locker room because I didn't want to wad the bike up, or I didn't want to, or my corporate sponsor wanted this. And fuck all that noise. Go ride the bike. That's what you're paid to do. Push the thing to the limit. And guess what? If it comes back in pieces, I'd rather see that than a guy that said, I went out there and I played it safe so I could get points. That's, ride your ride, push it to the limit, and forget Marquez, forget Alex, forget Bagman. Each one of them guys needs to worry about themselves. And then I think it'll be more competitive. Because honestly, even as a Marquez fan as I am, I don't want to see like when he was on Honda. Oh, yeah, turn on the TV. Oh, he won again. Oh, he won by 20 seconds. Oh, he won by 30 seconds. Like, that's not fun. It's not.
Isn't that what he's doing right now?
Yeah, well, that's, but so these other guys are on the same bike. So why can't they do it? So, then that leads into the other.
He's split up for his brother.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. Can't say I wouldn't do the same thing if my brother wasn't out there. I mean.
TJ, yeah, up, man. TJ.
I mean, it's going to be interesting. I think the big show we know is Marc Marquez this weekend. But, I have a couple of questions. Like, is it going to be Mark and Alex running up 1 and 2 again? Is Pecco finally going to take advantage? Is Maverick going to step up? One like Jordan said, and Rexy's guy Franco, he's been doing really well this season. Is he gonna try to get another podium back-to-back weekends? It's gonna be interesting. I can't wait. I know we're talking about MotoGP, but we also got World Superbike going on, so just bouncing back and forth, head off. Like, it's just gonna be so many racing videos to watch. Like, I just don't know where to start, but I think it's going to be an interesting MotoGP weekend. Like, from the first 2 tracks that we had, Coda is a whole different level, a lot of different elevation changes, corners, and like Tristan was saying, turn 10 is a beast. You're going downhill full speed and you break in hard to the left before back straight. Like, a lot of people lose it there. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens this weekend, but I think we're in for a good one.
Okay. Nice. Tristan.
Y'all are sleeping on Iagura. I was just poking around. If he hadn't been disqualified last week, he'd be tied for 5th in the World Championship right now, tied as the top non-Ducati rider. And we know that Aprilia is good at this track because it won it last year. So I'm not saying he's going to win, but I'm saying he's got a legitimate shot at a podium if they can keep their Russian hacking technicalities to a minimum this week. And I will be the first to admit I did not expect anything out of Iagura this year. Truly did not expect anything out of him. So, but yeah, it's Coda's one of those tracks. It's, Marquez has a lot of wins there, but you go through that winner list like Jordan did earlier, Bastianini, Vinales, Rins. Like, it's one of those tracks where stuff just happens, and Marquez has had some bad luck out there. He's flubbed some starts. He's fallen off. It's not like Saxon Ring where it's basically like, okay, we don't even have to watch this weekend because Marquez is just going to dominate everything.
Right.
Stuff still happens out there. So I got hope. I don't know. Morbidelli, he's broken my heart so many times before in fantasy league where I think he's going to be my dark horse point stealer, and then he does what Morbidelli does and does absolutely nothing. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see. Can't wait to see what Pecco does. he's, Rexy made a good point. Pecco's got more points than he's had the last couple years at this point in the championship, but at the same time, he also looks defeated. So is he going to pull his finger out, or is he going to play the long game, or is he just already conceding? So there's a lot to see, and I'm looking forward to it.
Nice. Likewise. Bobby Shakes, last but not least, you almost can take the glasses and the tinfoil off.
Never.
I got to put the tinfoil back on now. What about my boy Alex? We're going for that factory seat. Everybody's talking about everybody else. What is my guy Alex going to do this weekend? Right there, Alex Rise Factory. We're coming for the factory seat. Sorry, Pecco. We're going to put apes on an American bike on a Buell, and you can win there. And we're coming for the factory seat. I think the name that we've been on for an hour and 17 minutes, and nobody said a peep about Alex. Not a peep. Nothing. Alex shows up this week, closer to that factory seat. It's a hot take. What the hell are we here for?
No doubt. I want to thank everyone for coming on. It's the B4evaKool. My name is Rex45. Peace.
Peace.
So, man,
Peace.